Good Thursday afternoon, everyone. We are warming up fast, and we actually have a few rain showers passing across portions of the region. We'll let you know about all of that coming up here in just a bit.
Thank you, Damon. Today on DC News Now at noon, the future of the FBI headquarters now heads to Maryland, how the old line state beat Virginia. And later, calling for change, how airport service workers are asking Congress to step in ahead of the holiday season.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hey, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. To a story we told you about on DC News Now. After decades of disagreements, the new headquarters for the FBI is headed to Greenbelt, Maryland. Our Lex Juarez breaks down what this change means for Prince George's County.
Well, it was important to the anonymous panel, the decision makers here, that the transportation to that new site be easy, and the new site is actually walking distance from the Metro Center here. Now that site is 61 acres, and that is going to be where they build that new FBI headquarters. The General Services Administration also took into account cost and equity in making this decision. Those two components gave Maryland a leg up in the fight against Virginia, and ultimately Greenbelt was deemed the best choice over Landover in Maryland and Springfield in Virginia. Previously, criteria focused on proximity to the FBI training center in Quantico. That was a disadvantage to Maryland, but state leaders here are excited that additional criteria was looked at so that the state could see benefits from a project like this.
Prince George's County hasn't gotten its fair share in federal sites and buildings. And so this was always been, since the start, about equity, about fairness, and about making sure that Prince Georgians receive the resources at the federal level that we know we deserve right here in our communities.
Construction on the new headquarters will be starting here in the near future. Right now, they have not released a timeline on how long that construction will take and when the new FBI headquarters will officially be moving here to Greenbelt. In Maryland, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
All right, Lex, thank you. Meanwhile, Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooke spoke for the first time since the General Services Administration's announcement, and she says that this decision will change everything for the county.
So this decision was the right decision. It was always going to be the right decision, was that our sites were objectively the strongest sites, and the GSA decided that, and we are so satisfied that this is transformational. This is an economic, a once-in-a-generation economic opportunity for Prince George's County that will quite literally change Prince George's County's economy, really.
Meanwhile, Virginia lawmakers pushed Springfield as the ideal location for the new headquarters, and they were not happy with the announcement. But not everyone who lives here feels that way. On one hand, some say that moving here could have been an economic boost and an easier commute for many. On the other hand, others tell us that they fear that the move would have created already congested roads even more difficult to travel.
We have quite a bit going on right now, as far as new infrastructure and, with Amazon coming in and all. And I think people are already feeling, the crunch of more traffic.
It's a disappointment for Springfield. I know they really wanted it here. It would have helped to revitalize this community.
And we're going to have much more on this story coming up on DC News Now at 4. And new this afternoon, the Smithsonian National Zoo confirmed that the giant pandas have landed in China. FedEx Panda Express touched down around 10:40 this morning. The pandas had been at the zoo for more than 50 years. China owns and leases all giant pandas in the United States, and the pandas are being returned as their leases were set to expire. All right, meteorologist Damon Matson joined us now with the latest check in the forecast. Damon, another nice day. The sun continues to shine.
Yeah, indeed, my friend. So far, we have been off to a great start out there, but I will say we have some things we're watching as we move on throughout this Thursday. One of the key things is how fast we are warming up, and we're going to see some very warm temperatures for the next few hours before a cold front changes all of that. Now, we already have middle to upper 70s across much of northern Virginia, so seeing that peak warmth as we speak. week back across the Commonwealth there. D.C. is still right in the middle, if you will, in the upper 60s there. And then we have some cooler air already across Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Cumberland in the 50s. But that is not quite the effect of this cold front just yet. That is from some rain showers that have been able to develop out ahead of that frontal boundary. It's been so dry across the region, but thankfully we're able to wring out a few rain showers across western Maryland, back into parts of West Virginia, and zooming in a little bit closer. These are fast moving showers. They're not really dropping a lot of rainfall before they move on out, but heads up for some soggy weather over into Martinsburg, Hagerstown, seeing a little bit of that light rainfall. Cumberland, they were just over you, but they have now moved on these rain showers. But yes, we are thankfully seeing a little bit of that soggy weather along and west of I-81 at this point. And as we move forward here through the rest of the afternoon going into the evening, the chance for a few of these spotty showers will progress off to the east. Now, many of us will probably still end up dry with these very warm temperatures this afternoon in the upper 70s, but the chance is there. So just be on the lookout. You may end up needing that rain jacket or umbrella for a brief moment late this afternoon into the evening. Now, with all this warmth in place, though, could we end up seeing record highs in a few locations by the end of the day? And how are those rain chances looking as we go into the day on Friday? We'll have a full check of your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. The principal of Stafford High School has made a request of the footage showing a student being attacked by another student. Citing privacy, the school's principal is asking parents to go through their children's phones and delete any videos of the assault. No word if police support that guidance. The sheriff's office says the student was airlifted to a hospital from Stafford High School yesterday morning. No word on the extent of their injuries. One student has been detained. And Prince George's County parents are fighting to keep an elementary school open. Pointer Ridge Elementary School in Bowie was set to close at the end of last year. However, the former superintendent delayed the closure to next year. School leaders say Pointer Ridge has the lowest school population in the county, and closing it will save money. Well, last night, parents spoke with the superintendent about reversing the decision.
There's 3 housing developments coming up within the next few years, over 2,000 units expected. So obviously that will impact our enrollment numbers.
I feel like we're looking at numbers, we're looking at data, and that's important, right? But we're not numbers, we are people.
Well, district officials say that money saved by closing the school could be redirected to other resources. A man is dead and another is in the hospital after a shooting in Camp Springs. Prince George's County Police say it happened on Auth Road last night. Officials say that one of the men was found dead at the scene. So far, police have not made any arrests. And new this afternoon, service workers rallied outside of Reagan National Airport demanding better working conditions from their employers.
Whose city? Our city! Whose city? Our city!
The main demands include health care options and paid sick leave, which workers say they do not currently have. They also say these demands come after a summer full of industry-wide dysfunction. Both local and national airport workers came out for the demonstration. They said it's important to stand together against poor working conditions, no matter which airport they serve.
We are just fighting for our rights, because if we are not able to work at the airport, no flights will fly out.
Well, the group started with a rally at Terminal 2 and then marched through the airport to the historic terminal. Well, a D.C. woman is in custody accused of stealing an ambulance in Southeast. Police say that she took the vehicle while crews were treating a patient. Officials say that it happened on 22nd Street yesterday, and the ambulance was later found a few blocks away. First responders say the patient was not harmed and was picked up by a different ambulance. D.C. Police Chief Pamela Smith is talking strategy after a confirmation as the new top cop in the district. She says that she is committed to tackling crime across the area, and Smith was unanimously confirmed by council members on Tuesday.
It's going to take us some time to really drive these crime trends down. One of the things that I want to do is not wait until we have 15 or so deaths with juveniles, but to certainly start working with our young people. I've oftentimes told my team that they need to lighten my schedule up just a little bit so that I can get out in the field.
Chief Smith is also focusing on recruiting and creating programs for at-risk youth. Well, D.C. council members getting the public's thoughts on a bill that focuses on public safety and tackling crime. Brooke Pinto held a hearing on her active bill, a bill that's part of a bigger legislative package that takes an immediate and targeted approach to specific crime. Our Tosin Fakili breaks down the elements of the bill and concerns that many people have.
About 4 major concerns were brought up, and Brooke Pinto says one of the major concerns had to do with the part of the active bill that talks about the requirement for certain people submitting themselves to be searched for a firearm when in public. Many residents spoke at the hearing held by Councilmember Brooke Pinto. Pinto's active bill, which stands for Addressing Crime Through Targeted Interventions and Violence Enforcement Act, does a few things. It requires people on probation or parole following a conviction for a gun offense be required to submit a search when in public. It also amends the definition of carjacking to include situations where the victim is not in or next to their cars. Now, during the hearing, Pinto says residents shared concerns about the risk for harassment, especially for Black and brown residents, from warrantless searches of illegal guns from people as a condition of early release. Brooks says they'll continue to look into that part of the bill. Another concern was the impact of repeat offenders in communities. Pinto says an amendment in the active bill creates a presumption that people committing violent offenses be held pre-trial and requires judges to issue an opinion explaining why someone is released if presumption is overcome. Now, of course, discussions are expected to continue surrounding this bill. In the studio, I'm Tosin Fakili. Back to you.
All right, Tosin, thank you. As a reminder, D.C. police are giving away free tracking tags for your car today. The giveaway is from 4:30 to 7:30 on Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast. Eligibility depends on where you live in the district. You can find this information on the D.C. Police website.